In the beginning, electric guitar sent shockwaves through the cosmos. The first strum erupted like a supernova, capturing our imagination. Throughout the ages, 5 riffs stood apart from the rest. These sonic weapons resounded across the universe like shooting stars. Now seize your axe and write your most powerful riff. This is Shred, and today we'll be looking at the top 5 guitar riffs of all time. Now these selections aren't just based on the most popular bands, it's also about which riffs are the most fun to play. Grab a front row seat as I break down the music theory behind these songs. We'll be examining things like the keys, the scales, and the chords, and also the emotional messaging behind each of these powerful phrases. Check out my Patreon page below. I've got all of my tabs, courses, Discord access, and even live classes. Coming in at number 5 is Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love. Now this track was released in 1969. It features one of the most recognizable guitar riffs in rock history. Now check this riff out, right? Here we are in Guitar Pro, and let's just play the riff. Dude, these quarter step bends are money. It just gives you that slightly out of pitch ringing tonality, and it kind of thickens and beefens things up. So if we were to think about the key to this song, really it's like in an E minor pentatonic sort of sound here. So if you wanted to rep a scale, that would work here. Hit your 12th fret pentatonic box, which a lot of us probably know, and it goes like that. So that is your key. And that's the scale he's really thinking out of. But he's thinking, here's the thing though, like he's actually conceiving of this scale as starting in basically the 3rd position. Now, a lot of you guys probably know that box, but you may not know the 3rd position of the scale, which sounds like this, right? So I'm thinking about E minor pentatonic, but this is just how it goes starting on the 5th fret. So he's really going out of this box shape right here. The chord progression is really, there isn't a chord progression here. It's just all about repping that one tonic chord, which is the E. And that's part of what induces this hypnotic state. Coming in at number 4 is Black Sabbath's Iron Man. Now this track was released in 1970, and a lot of people consider that first Black Sabbath record to be the genesis, essentially, of metal music. Let's have us a closer look at Iron Man. We're at a tempo of 70 beats per minute, so it's quite slow. And let's have a listen here to the guitar profile. I mean, the melody here is so strong. Ozzy sings the damn thing. So whenever you're writing a guitar riff, think about the melodic component. I think Bach, would be proud of this. It essentially has this melodic arc that if we took away all the chords, it'd be very pleasing. A lot of people think this riff is in B. But actually, the one chord is right here. It's E minor. So listen for that, right? You got... That's really where, you could end the track. Other things to note about this, of course, the scale at play, being used here is, again, E minor pentatonic. That's just how it goes, for most guitar riffs. That's like the number 1 key. But I will say, just because that 12th fret box, doesn't mean you understand that scale across the entire neck. So learn different positions. Like another position you could learn here is the 2nd pattern, starting on the 3rd fret. And this one actually is totally fire. So Oh, there it is. Don't neglect it. And it goes like this. Yeah, very cool shape there. And he's, basically playing out of that shape in this lower register of the riff. The key here, if we wanted to put in a key signature, is going to be E minor. Of course, like I mentioned, so that has one sharp, F sharp. And the chord progression here, you could put chords in here. Very important to consider, the harmonic movement that's happening. There's a strong movement from the 1 to the 3. And the other chord at play is that E5. Coming in at number 3 is AC/DC's Back in Black. Now, Back in Black was released in 1980. Of course, the iconic riff here was written by Angus Young. Now he's Angus Old. So check this out. We're at a tempo of 92 beats per minute, quite slow. And Back in Black, of course, is based around E. We love E. And let's hear this lick. Oh man, what a crazy lick. I remember trying to learn this for the first time and just being totally bewildered. Now this uses a little extra twist on the regular pentatonic scale, which we'll cover in a second. The rhythm here is a great thing to note, how he leaves space and these power chord stabs. You have the 1, then you have the 7 with a D here. So this would be your E power chord. This one is a D, which stands for damn, this is a great song. And then of course you have the 4, which is essentially an A5. Now, this lick here we have to talk about because it comes from a scale that is like the pentatonic scale, but it has one extra note. So if we did the pentatonic scale here, really we've got a note in between here that we need to cover. So this is a flatted note, and it's known as the blue note. So then we finish the scale there, and check this out. Just an absolutely wonderful dissonant rub and tension from that flat 5th scale degree, B flat. And you can see that right here. I've got it actually labeled as an A sharp there, but B flat and A sharp are the same damn note. So here's Crazy Train, and the really interesting thing is that you've got all of the notes in the F sharp minor scale represented here. So we're actually in a different key for the first time. And I'm going to select A here, which is relative to F sharp minor. Oh, yeah, there it is. Let's listen. Okay, just a earworm, it gets stuck in your head immediately. And the scale itself here isn't your standard pentatonic or blues scale. We have a new species of sound, and it is the F sharp minor scale, which sounds like this, and it's a beautiful sound right there. So sometimes when you change keys, you get a different perspective on the guitar itself, and it can ignite some new creativity. Now we've arrived at the number 1 greatest guitar riff of all time. Of course, I'm talking about Metallica's Enter Sandman. Now check this out, Enter Sandman. Look at how it starts. Like it's got all of these rests, and then it has a 8th note pickup right before the first bar starts. So it has this just kick start right off the bat. Check it out. This riff is a lot of fun to play, man, and it has a hybrid component here. I'm going to relabel that note, actually, the flat 5. That's our blue note, essentially. So it's 1 part blues scale, and I am actually going to change the key signature from Crazy Train back to our standard key in metal guitar, which is E minor. Oh, it changed my notes back again. Great. So the B flat, that flat 5, the devil's note, is very important. But there's more to this riff than that. We're also repping the 2nd degree, which comes from the Aeolian mode. So you can kind of think about this scale as a bit of a hybrid. Now, I want to know, what's your number 1 riff in the comments below. And don't just state what your favorite riff is. See if you can erect a case that convinces me and others as to why your opinion is valid. Until next time, shred till you're dead.